Erev Tov Afula. Good morning in Tallahassee. Greetings to friends of Israel around the United States, around Israel, and indeed around the world. My name is Wayne Firestone. I'm the executive director of the America-Israel Friendship League, and I feel like I need to exhale. We've just had 10 days of eating and not eating and eating too much and looking for something in the back of the fridge and trying to figure out what it was originally. This is a period in the United States. It starts with Labor Day. This year it coincided with the high holidays. We have people calling in from around the world, many different time zones. And you know what? We thought maybe we could lend a little bit of a hand and talk about leftovers and creating from whatever's left something beautiful. Now, I get it. Not everybody's going to be able to create something as beautiful as the artists who are the master chefs who are with us today to show you how and teach you a few tricks. But we hope you'll have fun in the process and learn a little bit about Israeli cuisine and how it's impacting Israel and how it's impacting restaurants, really, frankly, around the world. Before we begin, and I introduce our two master chefs, for those of you that have a specific holiday dish that is still lingering with you, either because it was your favorite dish over the past couple of weeks or because you have leftovers that are still sitting in the refrigerator somewhere, please put into the chat, tell us where you're calling in from, tell us what the dish is that you're still savoring either by memory or by having leftovers. And we hope it'll inspire some of the secondary life options that we're going to talk about today. We are going to be having a real treat today. We have two master chefs who met and worked together in Israel and are now in two different locations. So this is their virtual reunion. They've been having fun reminiscing their time together as we prepared for this. One is in Los Angeles, far, far away in the Pacific time zone. One is in the Middle East, pretty close to Jerusalem, so he gets bragging rights today. And we're going to bring them both to you live from the kitchens that they've been creating in, among the kitchens that they've been creating in. We're thrilled to have here with us Moshe Badishi. Moshe is going to share from his own family traditions of both Moroccan and Yemenite background, what he then took and created a fusion with Asian food. And for 10 years at Minatome was the head chef. He has since moved on. He is a popular television chef in Israel, sharing from the Far East in places like Thailand and Cambodia and Vietnam, actual dishes that are created there and then are made by Israelis as part of a very popular television series. He's now at his own restaurant, Papasan, in Givatayim. If you want to go visit him, you'll have the opportunity to go taste this stuff in person. We're really excited to meet and learn from Moshe. On the other side of the continents today, Yoav Schverd, who is in Los Angeles and is the head of Nua, which is a restaurant that he's created. He's a private chef. He cooks for the stars. He cooks with the stars. He cooks under the stars. And today he's going to share some of the amazing insights and inspirations for his food. You know, he described this as a blend of Mediterranean and Middle Eastern and European and Asian and African. I think I should just say blend. It is a blend of a lot of wonderful flavors. So Moshe, we did the pre-lottery between you and Yoav. Yoav says since you're closer to Jerusalem, you go first. And tell us a little bit about your journey to creating this kind of fusion. Yemenite and Moroccan food is not always known to, pair with Cambodia and Vietnam, yet you've found a way to do that and to share that with a large Israeli audience. Tell us how you got there.
Okay, so actually my first love with Asian food was in New York when I used to work in Manhattan about 18 years ago. I worked at a Noble restaurant. It was for me the first time to work with Asian products and also to learn about all the Japanese food. And I fell in love with this. And since after a few years, I came back to Israel and I was started to make some sushi and some Japanese food. And my heart went together with the Southeast Asia kitchens. Same like you said, like you mentioned before, with the Thai kitchen, with the Cambodian kitchen, Vietnamese, etc. And before, like 18 years before, the Asian culinary scene in Israel was very, very basic. So each and every chef that brought something new, the audience, the people, the customer just hugged them, you know. And 11 years ago, we opened Mina Tomei, the first one in Haifa. And then we make a restaurant chain. And the basics of the kitchen of the restaurants was influence from the Indian, from the Thai, from Vietnamese, Japanese, and Korean also. Of course, make the adaptation to the Israeli customers because we don't have an Asian communities, big Asian communities in Israel, same like in the US. And I just fell in love with this. You know, I love this food. I love the ingredients. I love the flavors, the aromas, the richness of everything. I love also when I'm going to travel before the COVID-19, before the pandemic. I used to fly to the East each year 3-4 times, every time for 2 weeks at least minimum. And during my trips there, my culinary travels there, and all the research that I made, I was always amazed to see how poor people, poor kitchens, really they don't have enough resource to cook. You have only like what, you don't have oven, you don't have a chipster. It's not the luxury that we are used to this. And from these small kitchens and only like one stove of gas or wok or something, they can produce 10, 15 dishes, different dishes. And I was in shock and I really wanted to learn this. So my heart goes to them.
Well,
also.
thanks for sharing from your tradition and from their traditions. And in a moment, we're going to pay it forward a little bit by sharing your actual recipes. We'll show them on the screen for people so people can see what you're cooking and see what they might have around. And yes, we promise you, we're also going to send everyone afterwards who wants it. We'll send you in our regular newsletter. We'll send all the recipes. We already put them up on our website. We'll show you all the different options you have for accessing them. So Yoav, take us out to Los Angeles, where you've introduced Israeli food to the West Coast. Tell us how people are responding to your hybrid dishes.
So first, I must say that for who doesn't know, Moshe is a very modest man. Moshe is a very modest chef. He was like this when I met him like 20 years ago, and he's still like that. Moshe is one of the best chefs in Israel if we're talking about Asian food. And in my phone, he's still mentioned as Chef Moshe Badishi, a great cook and an awesome person. So I clean the table. Now, just to let you know, I am doing Mediterranean food, and we can talk about what is Israeli cuisine, but I'm using, just because of Moshe, I'm using today a Chinese knife. Moshe, it's because of you, because I'm thinking about it. That's it. That's my chef knife today.
I appreciate it. I also prepared my Japanese knife today because it's a special event.
Nice. So yeah, I'm happy and luckily because I got to LA 5 years ago, and the Mediterranean food became very popular. I always say that people here, they call it Mediterranean diet. We call it food. But I'm lucky because I opened this restaurant with my partner, Ronnie, 4 months ago, and we, thank God, we're doing well. You should probably all know that it's COVID time and there are some restrictions and hiring is not so easy, but people are happy. We're getting great reviews. If you're in LA, in Beverly Hills, actually, you're more than welcome to visit me, to visit us, and try to have some of our hospitality that includes food, but not only. We believe in the whole triangle of food, drinks, and service. And we're trying to bring a bit of Tel Aviv into LA, not to be too formal, not to be very casual, to enjoy the food, to enjoy the drinks, to enjoy the people, and basically to have fun. When people are asking me, what do you do for a living? I usually say, I make people happy. Then I say, I cook.
Well, that is a great profession. And introducing Moshe first as an awesome person, I think, is also a testament to what happy food creates in people. So let's take a quick look at your recipes so people know what you're going to be working on over the course of the hour. We're not expecting everyone to prepare it now, just to get inspired by it, hopefully. So Moshe, I know we've got a little bit of something for everyone here. We've got a vegetarian dish, we've got a fish dish, and we have a meat dish. So Moshe, tell us a little bit about each of the three dishes. We're going to be looking at the menus as you're speaking. So tell us a little bit about cauliflower red curry.
So our first recipe is really the cauliflower red curry. We love cauliflower here in Israel. Usually we eat it roast with some tahini, and it's almost like a national dish. Now, in the past 5 years, this dish is so popular. So because we had one head of cauliflower that's already been cooked and we didn't eat him, so I thought about to make a curry, a homemade curry. I prepare all the ingredients here. You have the recipe. All you need to do is just to put all the ingredients together to the food processor or a blender or imaginative, whatever you have, and just to have this kind of texture of a paste. I don't know if you can see it, but and we will.
Moshe, can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah.
What can you tell to people that would say, oh, curry, I'm afraid of that. It's too spicy, it's too strong, it's I don't know what. A lot of people have, like, bad one experience, and then they're not going to try it for years. What can you tell them?
First of all, don't be afraid from food. The food needs to be afraid from you. The first rule. Second of all, curry and the spiciness, you can manage the spiciness. It's not like that you have to do it spicy. I like to eat spicy. It's from my Yemen roots and from my Moroccan roots. We eat spicy food at home. My wife, she eats spicy. My kids, they eat spicy. But you don't have to put all the spiciness inside if you don't like it spicy. The thing is, and I love the texture and the aroma of the coconut milk. I love this too. I love how it's sit on the rice. And I think that and also this dish is vegan. It's vegan. So I think that everyone can enjoy the curry, everyone can enjoy it, and to take it to their own place. This curry is going great with fish, going great with chicken, going great with beef, whatever you made it. You don't need to be afraid from food. You need to try.
You convinced me, chef.
Okay, so how spicy is this spicy fish?
Yeah, the second recipe is the mango salad. It's raw, it's green mango. Actually, it's a Thai breed that we have it in Israel. Now it's the end of the season, so that's why I choose to make the green salad, the green mango salad. And but also you can manage, you can control the spiciness. Again, the dish is very, very tasty. Have the sourness, have the sweetness of the palm sugar or regular sugar, have the lemon inside, the acid, the fish sauce. It's great. In every Thai dish, you need to have at least 3 flavors: bitter, acid, sweetness, and the spicy is just an extra. I will say the spiciness is just a bonus. So.
And how about the beef?
Sorry?
How about the meat dish?
About the meat dish, so we have some meatballs that stays from the last Shabbat, and we will make today the gyoza. a gyoza meatball with soy and jalapeno sauce on the side.
All right, all looks good. We'll be looking forward to seeing the different ingredients as you have them all sort of set out there over the course of the hour. We'll come back and look at a little bit. We're already getting questions about substitutions, but I'll wait till we come back and hear and see from Yoav about the 3 dishes he's going to introduce today.
All right. So my first one's going to be also the cauliflower. And as Moshe said, in Israel, cauliflower, I think cauliflower and eggplant are probably the most common, let's call them special veggies. I mean, unlike a tomato or a cucumber that you use every day for a salad. Israelis love cauliflower. We eat it a lot with tahini, in all kinds of different ways. I'm gonna do mine with roasting the cauliflower florets. I'm gonna create from a head of a cauliflower the small florets, like 1 inch, 1 on 1. And you can sear them, you can deep fry them, you can cook them, you can half cook like Moshe said before. But in all ways, it's actually going to be tasty. You just need to think, as a chef, you always think about the combinations of the flavors. You think about some salt, you think about lemon, and tahini is going to bring the creamy feeling, the creamy flavor. Sometimes when American people ask me about the tahini, because I use tahini all the time, I say, listen, tahini for me, it's like your mayo. We literally use it as itself. We use it with other flavors. We're using it for sauces, for dressing, because we want to make stuff thicker, just like with a mayo. My second one's going to be the fish dish. Is actually, I don't want to say it's a leftover dish, but it's actually, let's say I have guests and I want to impress them and I have literally 10, 20 minutes. What should I do? So I'm going to make that fish. It's a filet. This one I took a striped sea bass, very nice one actually. I'm going to trim it very nice. I'm going to sear it on a pan, then throw it to the oven. At the end, I'm going to use the same pan to do a very simple sauce from olive oil, garlic, salt and pepper, lemon juice, and cherry tomatoes. And I'm going to combine all that with a baked potato that usually I bake twice. Half cooked before, bake one time with olive oil, thyme, rosemary, salt and pepper, and do it one more time before the guests are coming. As some of you probably know, the original French fries are done 3 times, meaning you deep fry them, you take them out, put them in the fridge, and do it 2 more times. Basically, potatoes love being baked twice or 3 times. It's just making the flavor better and better. My third dish is going to be rice, which is an Arab word for seasoned ground beef in a pita bread. There are tons of ways to do it. I'm going to do it here with a tiny, small pita bread that we buy here in a local bakery. I love that because it's making it almost a finger food. I do it in events. I do it here in the restaurant, and I do it for my friends at home. That's going to be it for today.
Wow. You know, I know each of you are going to share what some of these delicacies look like once they're finally prepared. But Moshe, let's switch to you. You're in the kitchen. You've got a few of these things underway. What can you show us in the initial preparation of the dishes?
So after we made the paste, this is the chili paste, the curry paste that we made. All we need to do is just to fry the paste a little bit. Come closer. And and to add the coconut milk, same as the recipe. Once it's boiled, the liquid is boiled, so I put the cauliflower inside. And now I just wait the coconut milk to be a little bit thick. I love to use coconut milk that have 17 to 90% fat, same like as cream. I don't use something that is lower than this, but you can also use the another kind that have about 21 to 22% fat. It's just have a little bit of taste of semi-sweet. I don't like so much the semi-sweet flavor inside. That's why I use the 1719. So our dish will be ready in about 2 minutes, I think. I just have a question for Yoav, if I can ask him something. My dear friend Yoav.
Yes,
Can you hear
sir.
me?
Yes, of course, my friend.
I'm very curious to know, because I know the way you cook, and I know you cook fabulous, you cook great, and you have a, like we say in the chef languages, you have a good hand by cooking and seasoning and everything. And I really want to know how the people there in LA are accepting the Mediterranean kitchen.
So it's a great question, actually. You know, I always tell people, like for Jews, you know, you have your grandmother's, let's say, chicken soup, or for you, it's going to be a Yemen soup or a Moroccan fish. So I'm always going to say that my mom's gefilte fish are the best in the world. But to be honest with you, well, actually, my mom's are the best. But to be honest with you, we remember the taste that we got used to. We can't compare things that we had all of our life, all of our childhood, to something they just brought us. So what I'm saying here is that give me 3 Israelis in a table, and I'm going to serve them hummus, or hummus, like we should say here. 3 Israelis are eating hummus. The 3 of them going to have different opinions, and one is used to the Abu Hassan hummus in Jaffa. One is used to the hummus in East Jerusalem, and one is used to the hummus in Said in Akko. Different kind of hummus. So you cannot make everybody happy all the time, and I knew that when I decided to do Mediterranean food here. But actually, I'm getting great reviews from people. I'm very, very surprised because American people, they just love the Mediterranean cuisine. I don't know who was doing the work for me, but someone was pumping about Mediterranean food the last few years, and it seemed that I opened this place in a quite good timing, actually. Man, I love your presentation as always. Love it.
Yoav, show us what your cauliflower is, how it's coming as well.
So my cauliflower, I'm gonna let you see a bit. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Yeah. So you take a cauliflower. You take. Okay, there's no yes and no in a kitchen. I must say that there's no. You need to use that knife. I like that knife, a pear knife, but people can use whatever knife that they want. Some people like the chef knife for that. My mom's always using the same knife that she bought in the market in $5. So I won't tell anyone what to do. I'm using that small knife. I'm taking the core of the cauliflower to get to the florets. I'm taking in this specific recipe, I'm not using the leaves, although you can eat them. I'm taking the core. I'm taking it deep, so it's going to be very easy for me to break the cauliflower to florets. And actually, most of the work is done. Now I have the florets. I just decide on the size of them. I don't want to make them too big because I want to have a small, I want to have a short cooking process. And from here, I can take it to cooking, searing, frying. In this kitchen, I have a fryer, so it's really going to be easy for me. But I did it last night for 35 people in a private event, and I was searing them and broil them in the oven. Both ways are good. There's not this is better and this is not. When you deep fry it, of course, it's a bit crispier and probably also going to make you fat.
Yoav, I know you focus. The West Coast is sort of famous for leading trends on health food and healthy food. And I found it interesting. You said you refer to the Mediterranean diet as food. It's actually food.
Yeah. Yeah, I know in LA, it's very weird because people here all talk about healthy. So they're gonna drink their Diet Coke, which is so not healthy, but basically they're gonna have it with a cheeseburger. Or people are gonna be so crazy about their salad in the lunchtime but then for dinner, they're gonna grab some, I don't know, chicken nuggets dipped in a very, very non-healthy dressing. So it's all about what I feel like and what I think is good for me. And in 5 years that I'm here, I heard so many times the words diet, keto, vegan, allergies. This is better. This is better. This is really bad for you, and this is the worst for you. I don't know. I know that if you go to Israel, or if you go to the Mediterranean area, and you're gonna find some like 100-year-old guy, and he's gonna tell you, listen, I drink my coffee in the morning, my tea in the afternoon, I drink 1 glass of ouzo or 1 glass of wine at 3 o'clock, I smoke 2 cigarettes, I eat some of that and some of that and some of that, and I'm still here. So I don't know. I believe it's very personal. I mean, everybody has its own thing, and I don't know.
All right. Anything else we should know about the cauliflower preparation before we move on?
Yeah, what's very important is when you take it out of the oven to add salt, lemon juice or lime juice, and then the tahini or something else, whatever you want to do. Because when the cauliflower is still hot, and I'm going to do it in a second, it's soaking whatever you're going to give it. So then people are eating it and they're like, oh my God, it's so flavorful. And again, it's because of the timing of making it. I'm going to do it now in my fryer.
Okay, while Yoav's at the fryer, I'm going to come back to Moshe. The fish dish has definitely inspired a lot of questions, both because of, I think, the spices, as well as just as we know, a Moroccan fish is sort of what can we say? How do you improve it? How do you beat your family recipe with what you've got?
Okay, so first of all, I just want to say, and I admit it, my wife, she makes the best Moroccan fish in the whole world, even in Morocco. They can come and learn from her how to make Moroccan fish. Now, I'm okay? Yeah? Okay. Okay, so usually what we are doing in the Thai in Vietnam, this salad is the fish is prepared with just a little bit of fish sauce, a little bit of lemon, and a handful of fresh chili. Okay, just a handful of fresh chili, because we already made the fish. You can see the Moroccan fish. It's already been cooked with coriander and cilantro and pepper and spicy paprika. So I think it will be fit for us. But first, I want to make the sauce. I will teach you a sauce that can beat any other Asian sauce ever. Very easy to make. A little bit of lemon. You have the recipe. I think it's 1/3 cup. This one is sugar water. Syrup sugar, sorry. We call it in Hebrew sugar water. I add another 1/3. Fish sauce. Fish sauce will have the authentic smell, saltiness, and flavor. And just 1 garlic clove chopped. And that's it. Our sauce is ready. You have the sweetness, the saltiness, the acid, all the flavors inside. And like I said, the spiciness is a gift. So I will just mix the sauce, and I want to build the salad. You will see this is the fastest salad in the world. Okay. So I already have the mango cut. When you choose the mango, take the mango that's really, really hard, not soft. Okay. Check always the bottom and the top of the mango to see if it's soft or not. Chili. We will take shallot. And the cucumber without the inside of it. We don't want it watery, we want it crispy. So this is one of the tricks how to open the cucumber.
You can do it at home. It's just going to take you 3 years.
I was going to say, I'm not sure even watching that I want to try that.
Cut it very thin. And then just a handful of cilantro, not chopped, together with the stems. Handful of mint. The leaves, you can tear it by your hands. Basil. The sauce. And this salad is ready to go. But we still have the fish. So I will show you what we will do with the fish. First, we will build the salad in the plate. It's very colorful salad, crunchy, crispy. Usually this salad is served when the fish is in room temperature. I just cut it for bite-sized pieces.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. This is one of the best salads. One of the best salads. I'm not joking with you. If you cannot buy raw mango, green mango, so you can use raw papaya. And if you don't have papaya, you can use kohlrabi and cucumber. It will be fitting. This one is a best seller in my restaurant.
I'll bet.
A best seller for years.
All right, we're coming over. We're coming to Givatayim in large numbers.
That's it.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Moshe, that is beautiful. And you even managed to compliment your wife on her fish recipe at the same time that you prepared that. So you obviously have diplomatic skills as well. We're thrilled. Let's take it back to Los Angeles. Yoav, tell us about sea bass with tahini.
So I'm taking a striped sea bass, fresh striped sea bass, and people are very afraid of fish and seafood generally. And I think they need to know that it's just like a butcher, just like a doctor, and just like a lawyer. You need to find one of them that you can count on, and that's it. I'm taking the fillet, and I'm using my knife, the homage from Moshe knife, to, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going on the fish to take out any bad stuff on it. I'll do the same on the other side, because if someone made a mistake and there's a scale, I'm going to find it now, and it's always better to find one scale now than one scale in your stomach or throat or your customer. I'm going to slice this nice fillet to 2 because it's really a big one. I'm going to season it with salt and pepper, and I'm going to warm up a pan with oil. Meanwhile, I'm going to take the cauliflower we were talking about. 1 second, please. Meanwhile, I'm going to take the cauliflower into a mixing bowl, which is probably Moshe's gonna agree. It's basically our best friend after a cutting board and a knife. The mixing bowls, we're using so many of them in so different sizes. I'm using it all the time. While it's still hot, I'm gonna do some lemon juice, salt, pepper, and tahini which is basically raw tahini with cold water, salt, and lemon. And I'm not cheap with the tahini. I'm putting inside, mixing it, adding some of the chopped parsley, and basically we have a dish. Number one.
Beautiful. Yoav, I know we have so many questions that are just flowing in about substitutions, and I know when we were talking before, both you and Moshe have this remarkable answer to almost every question is yes. You can yes. The exact opposite of what you get from some, I don't know, European chefs, let's say, where the answer may come back as no. So there is one question related to someone with an allergy to sesame, whether you could do something beside tahini for the sauce here. I know it's in the name of the dish, but is there something you recommend that could happen without the tahini?
I'm sorry, I lost you for a second because of the earpods. You were still asking about which sauce? The tahini?
The tahini sauce.
You can make so many different things. I mean, it's when I'm saying there's no in food, there are no's, of course. But you said, unlike the other chefs, I just think that you need to be very open in your mind to, Moshe will probably agree that the Japanese are using soy sauce with sesame paste. And when you think about it, it goes so well together, the soy and the sesame, but sesame paste is tahini. So I was making once like an Asian Mediterranean dinner, and I did use tahini with soy sauce. And one of the guests told me, "How can you do it?" And I told her, "Would you please first taste?" And she tasted, and she said, "Oh, okay, now I got it. How do you do it?" So I just think there are no no's. Just try at home. Try to do stuff. You don't need to make a gallon of a dressing that you think is going to be nice. Basically, the difference between a chef and just a cook is that a chef can create. A chef can create recipes. Like Moshe was talking about the salad. What he didn't tell you is that for him, it's very known and it's built in his brain, in his mind, that the combinations, like he said about the flavors, the salty and the spicy and the sweet, and also the crunchy and the mushy. The salads that Moshe usually based on them are very, very crunchy. He's using, like he said, a raw mango or papaya or cucumber. He will never use the inside because it's very mushy. The combination between a mushy fish and the crunchy of the veggies and the flavors from everything, it's our brain is doing, oh my God, it's so good. But some of us can actually understand why, and that's why Moshe is a genius.
Great. Well, I want to make sure we get in all three of the dishes up front. A reminder to the audience, of course, we're going to share copies of all these recipes afterwards for you, so you can go through them after getting this first virtual whiff of what it might look like in the end. And we have some incredible photos to show you of the final dishes as well. But Moshe, why don't you tell us a little bit, there are people around who've got a little bit of ground beef and leftovers here and there. Tell us about the meatball dish and what you're going to do with it.
First of all, I want to react to what Yoav said. Yoav is right. If you come to the kitchen and you want to make something good, you want to make something new, it's okay to copy recipes, but if you don't break the boundaries, you don't break the limits, so you will always stay in the same pattern, and we don't want to stay in the same pattern. We, as a chef, we always want to bring a new ideas inside, a new point of view to break boundaries. That's why what you have said, I'm agree with it, with him. I'm very agree with him. So now we will make, for the first time in the history, a meatballs gyoza. Okay. So we had some meatballs that stays from the Shabbat or from the holiday. I'm confused. Can't remember. So I put all the ingredients together. There are the green onion and the chilies and the cilantro, and I put a little bit, 2 spoons of coconut milk. And I will tell you why. If you want to have good meatballs, you have to have fat inside between 25 to 30%. But now I added another 2 spoons of coconut milk to add fat inside. I don't want the stuffing, the meatball, the mass, I don't want it to be dry. So I mash it all together, raw, very raw. I know it doesn't look so sexy, but believe me, it will be tasty. The dough, the recipe that I gave you for the dough, for the gyoza dough, it's very easy to make. It took me maybe 5 minutes and without mixer, just by my hands. The dough is very, very smooth, as you can see. It's really, really, really easy to make. And please use the hot water inside. Use hot water and not regular water, not cold water, that's what I mean. Because hot water will open the flour and the dough faster. Okay, so we need to roll out the dough. It will take 1 minute or 2, I think. In the meanwhile, just prepare a cup or a metal form because we need to form the circles of dough. And we will make it Japanese style. We will fry it in the pan and we will add water inside and we will close it with a cover to the pan. This is the real way to make gyoza, not to steam and after fry.
Moshe?
Yes.
Moshe, can you hear me? So exactly a week ago, last Friday, I got gyoza that my friend made. And I don't know if you can recognize where is she from, but her name is Judy Koyama. She's very Japanese and she made her own gyoza. And I told her, I want to do it the right way. Just tell me what to do. I'll do it exactly like you're saying. And she said exactly like you. I did it the right way. I seared it on one side. I added some water, and then it's steaming, and it's so good. Gyoza. How many years are you making gyoza? I want to know. When was the first time you started to make it by yourself, like the dough and everything?
The first time, it was actually in the same time that you and me, we just met each other in the sushi bar in Rishon.
Yeah.
I just came back from New York and we wanted to buy gyoza and we didn't have a supplier to buy gyoza, so we started to make by ourselves.
Nice. I remember so good this sushi place, because I sliced the top of my finger once. I will never forget that.
That was the best times, the best time ever.
Yeah, that's the one you really learn from.
I also met my wife there, so
right.
I learned a friend for life and a wife.
That's good. That's really nice.
Okay. So once you open the dough, we need just to form a round circles of dough. It will be very, very easy to do. I whisk an egg here just to help the dough to stick together. And I will teach you how to close a gyoza without to be Japanese. Okay? What I call the Yemen Moroccan style. The egg, brush only one side of the dough. Okay? Take some of the stuffing from some of the filling inside. Close one tip. And then one finger fold, one finger stick. One finger fold the dough, one is sticking. The left side doesn't move, only the right side.
Don't go into politics, please.
Okay?
Beautiful.
All right, Yoav, you ready to show us the meat, your meat dish in
Yes.
preparation?
Yes, yes. I'm taking very, very fresh ground beef. I'm gonna throw it into, again, a mixing bowl. And the mixing bowl should be big enough for me to be able to mix it with the other stuff. I'm gonna add, I just chopped, while Moshe was working, I was chopping red onion, parsley and cilantro. I'm gonna add salt, pepper, cumin, and now I'm gonna mix it very, very good. The idea of this dish, it's an Arabic dish, became so popular in Israel. People are making it in so many versions, so many ways. I went to Israel. He's an American guy, 75 years old guy, like my father. He ate this dish and he freaked out. Now the name is arais, but he couldn't say that. So he's still, I think it's 3 years later, he's still talking about the burger in a pita that we had back home in Israel. When I opened this restaurant, I told him, listen, Barry, you're so in love with this dish. I'm gonna put it in my menu. And actually it's the best seller of the restaurant. And many American people call it a burger in a pita. So after I mix that, I can take my fresh mini pita breads. I'm slicing it. Make sure it's wide open inside. Sometimes you need to play with the dough. It's open. I'm taking about an ounce of the meat and I stuck it inside. I wanna make sure everything is full, but I'm not gonna make it more of the top of the pita bread because it's gonna burn. I'm gonna continue to make some of that, then I can grill them. Did we lose Moshe?
We briefly, but I think we got him back on camera. Moshe, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Moshe, we worried for you. We were really worried.
We've got you back.
No matter how far. Okay, so are you with me now?
Sure, go ahead and show us.
Okay, so we have the meatball gyoza. I already prepared some of them before. Okay, now we need to heat a pan with just a little bit of oil, canola oil inside. We want to fry the bottom of the gyoza. This process will take about 5 minutes, so you can also be with Yoav in the same time.
Okay,
So,
I'm gonna start searing my fish. I'm gonna sear it about 3 minutes on the skin. First the skin, of course. Then I'm gonna flip it for 2 more minutes. Then I'm gonna send it to the oven for a few more minutes. And back to our conversations about be creative and don't get stick to recipes. So in a recipe, usually they're going to talk about a fish that it's, I don't know, 150 grams, 200 grams, that kind of ounces, whatever, 6, 7, 8 ounces. But we don't always have the same size and we don't want to slice our fish to smaller or we can do if it's smaller. So just think, and with your testing and with your trying, you're going to get the experience to know exactly how long to cook it for. And now I'm going to cook it. Always important to heat your pan before you're adding the oil and of course before you're adding the protein into it. Some salt and pepper again. Moshe, I want to take the next flight.
What? Sorry?
I want to take the next flight. I'm missing your food, man. I'm missing you, and I don't know if I'm missing you or I'm missing your food. I don't know what's more.
I'm missing you, and after that, I'm missing the tahini and the arayas that you make.
Ah, that's easy. That's easy.
We have a lot to catch up, you know?
Yeah, we do.
Well, as you two are working on these final preparations, I know that your friendship and your cooking together is also a blend. It's a blend of your traditions and your love of sharing culture and interacting and making people happy. So we're going to show Yoav first and then Moshe after what some of these final dishes look like as we're talking. And I'm curious, Yoav, similar to Moshe's question early on about, when I looked at this photo of this barakas, I knew for certain that it wouldn't last long in front of me. But how are people reacting to looking at dishes that they've never seen before in their lives when you present them something that looks like this?
So first of all, if you don't mind, I want to show you what I just did before we got into this call. So if you don't mind.
Sure. Show us.
I made 18 fresh barakas.
Okay.
So
all right.
Yeah.
It's hard to compete with fresh barakas.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that trade.
Barakas is I think, Bulgarian food, but actually it's the same idea of a dough and some stuffing that goes all along from China to Italy, I believe, the Silk Way. And you can call it dim sum, you can call it ravioli. And then in the east side of Europe or the Balkan area, they did it with a different kind of dough. And it's just the combination between a dough and some good stuffing inside. You can't beat that. Now, the photo you showed is actually a potato barakas, and it's dairy-free. And what I'm doing is I'm baking the barakas, then I'm going to open it and I'm put inside all the ingredients of a very known dish called sabich. Now, sabich is a very known Iraqi dish that usually the Jewish Iraqi used to eat in Shabbat, in Saturday morning. And it's basically hard-boiled egg, eggplant, and tahini. So I thought, why shouldn't I put all of that good stuff inside the barakas, add some tomatoes and pickles, tahini and schug, which is like a salsa verde, like a spicy
Yemeni's dish.
It can't be bad. I thought to myself, it cannot be bad. And then I started to serve it on brunch, and people are getting crazy on that.
We love it. That spread that we were just looking at with eggplant and with tahini, all the things you told us about up front, pomegranate, it's evoking so many different flavors, so many different traditions and holidays. Let's also, Moshe, take a look at some of the dishes that you prepare when your customers come to you and Givatayim. I look at these things and I can't even imagine what your father, what your grandfather, who were butchers, what do they say? What would they say to the creations that this Beit Badishi has come up with today?
They will say, Moshe, go find a real job.
Yeah, don't forget that until probably a few years ago, to say I'm a cook wasn't like a proud. And now with all the shows, it's okay to be a chef. But I'm a cook. I cook. I make people happy, as we said. Um, oh, wow. I see those pictures.
The gyoza is ready. It's already been cooked.
All right, we'll show the final dishes just in a moment. We're actually getting a look at you and your restaurant in Givatayim.
Okay.
Papasan.
This is so nice, Moshe. Great pictures.
Thanks.
All right, well, we only have a couple minutes left. Unfortunately, I don't often find myself in between two such friendly guys carrying very big knives. But since I am today separated at least by a few thousand miles, let's just take a quick peek at each of the three dishes as they are at the moment. I know some may still be in the oven, but let's take a quick look. First, Chef Badishi, what do you got to show us?
Okay, so our gyoza is ready. You can see that we fried the bottom, and when we put water inside and close the pan for about 2 minutes, so the steam cooked the dough, and now it's ready. We have the jalapeno soya sauce here on the side, the dip. So our leftovers meal is ready.
We're coming. Get ready. Hold open the gates and give it time. Chef Schverd, what can you show us for the three dishes?
I'll show you in a minute if I'll have the time. The fish. Meanwhile, I can show you the halfway of the arais of the pita bread. You can see the searing. You can see the searing. We're starting with the beef area. We sear it, then we move into the other two. I'm just stuck because I'm still here. And from there, it's gonna go to the oven and have some tahini on the side. Will be wonderful.
Beautiful.
My fish is gonna be ready in 60 seconds exactly. Don't know if you see the fire.
We
So
see it as long as the LA fire authorities don't. We should be okay.
No, they're my neighbor. It's okay. So I'm gonna plate it. I'm gonna do a short version.
We have people drooling in Virginia.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Never been, by the way. So this is the fish. Just moved a bit. And I'm gonna take the sauce, which I made from really just the liquids that the fish left on the pan. Some olive oil, garlic, cherry tomatoes, salt, pepper, and lemon juice. I'm gonna put it on top. And if I want to play, I can also add the whole stamp with some tomatoes. And here we are.
Oh, voila. Wow. Moshe, Yoav, we are not worthy. Our leftovers are not worthy. We will never make anything as beautiful as what you showed us today. But you inspired us. We have people who are going to be watching the video link, which we will send out to everyone as a holiday treat so they can watch it again slowly so they can savor and think about the two of you and what the way you both create and bring Israel to the world and the world to Israel. You're a testament to the creativity and the possibilities of what happens when you break boundaries, as you both said. You've broken boundaries. You've done it on a culinary front in a language that speaks to everyone, regardless of what religion they are, what culture, where they are geographically. We are grateful for those contributions. We are grateful for inspiring us to find something in the refrigerator that we can resurrect and make in some new holiday form into a work of art. Maybe not the same work of art that you all can create as professionals, but something that we can enjoy from our own homes. So thanks to each of you. Chag Sameach, happy holidays to you and your families. We're off this coming Wednesday for another holiday. We're back on Sunday going virtually to Eilat. Come join us in Eilat, jump in the ocean, wash off, and make that part of your holiday tradition as well. Thanks from all of our friends to all of your friends and families. Happy holidays from America Israel Friendship League.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Shana Tova. Thank you
Thanks a
all.
lot. Shana Tova. Happy New Year.
Shana Tova.